at you today to bring to you some super cold science. Like how cold? Like freezing cold science. You see, it can never be too cold to play in science, right? Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is some frozen bubbles in an episode I'm calling Frozen Bubbles. All right, so we're going to explore and see, can we actually make bubbles freeze? Well, let's give it a try. Okay, so for safety first, right? Got your coat on because it's really cold outside. How cold is it? It is 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit right now. That is so crazy cold. All right, so coat, and we're gonna need our hat on, right? Gotta protect your head, and you need your gloves, and you're gonna need a scarf. It is really cold. We cannot be out there very long. All right, so you gotta do this really super quick. All right, now you might be thinking, Mama P, bubbles in the wintertime? Where do you get bubbles? Well, I happen to really like bubbles, so I tend to have them around all the time. So what we're gonna do is, I've got my bubbles, and we're gonna take them outside and check them. And first, I wanted to see what would happen if I like super cooled the bubble solution first. So I stuck some outside just for a little bit. And well, no duh, it froze. And you can see in here, there are little crystallized bubble solution in here, okay? Let me give you a close look at it. Do you see the frozen crystals? That's what we're going to try to do with actually making these bubbles and see if we can get them to crystallize as a bubble. All right, now if you don't have the bubble solution, no big deal. You can make your own. How? Let me show you. All right, first of all, we're going to take about 1 part water. Don't have to measure it out exactly. Just a little bit of water, and mix that with about 4 parts of dish soap. Doesn't matter what brand. Okay, we're going to mix that up in there. And then I'm going to stick in a little bit of corn syrup. Why are we going to stick in corn syrup? That's normally for candy. Well, because it makes it thicker. Okay, it makes a thicker polymer mixture. Polymers are things that stretch. So since we're talking about being out in frozen temperatures, right, freezing temperatures, it's really cold out there, then we want to make sure that our bubble solution is going to be thick enough that it won't pop instantly. So hopefully we can get those freezing bubbles, okay? So we're just gonna take it and we're gonna stir it up, mix it up really well. Now, if you happen to have a bubble wand, try a bubble wand. If you don't worry about it. This straw and blowing little bubbles works really well also, okay? So we're gonna go outside and we're gonna test out these bubbles, but wait a minute, strap on that seatbelt, because we are gonna go for a bone-chilling ride today. Let's go! Cool how when you get the bubble to form and it would slowly crystallize right there before your eyes, and then when it would pop, it would turn into almost like a cellophane, like a little paper bubble floating through the air. Science can be so much fun. Don't let the cold weather stop you. Just remember, safety first. Got to bundle up and don't stay out there very long because you don't want frostbite. That's no good. You know, I can't leave you without some words of wisdom. Let's see if I can make some frozen words of wisdom. Okay, now listen. Just because somebody says, hey, go try that, doesn't mean you have to. What you need to say is, you first. What am I talking about? Well, if you've ever heard of somebody telling you to go lick a frozen pole, no, don't do it. Here's why. Your tongue is going to freeze to that pole. and then you're gonna look kind of silly now, aren't you? Yeah, now why does that happen? Well, let me show you. If you think about your tongue, okay, your tongue is inside your body, right? Body temperature, approximately 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really warm. Frozen pole, it's gonna be at least 32 degrees Fahrenheit or below. It's frozen. Big difference there, okay? So whenever you stick your nice, warm, wet tongue to that pole, what that frozen pole does, it starts immediately sucking the heat from your tongue. So it's sucking the heat out, and your body cannot recuperate fast enough to make it stop from freezing, so that moist tongue is going to start freezing instantly to that pole, and then you're going to be stuck to a pole and you're looking kind of silly. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about with the ice, okay? Can you stick your tongue to the ice? Yes, you can. And here's why. First of all, I've got my finger dry, okay? And I stick it to the ice. Does it stick? No, it doesn't. So even though my body temperature is still about the same, right? It's not moist, okay? Now, watch what happens if I get it wet first. So I stick it in some water, and then I stick it to an ice cube. I'm stuck to the ice cube, right? Now I'm going to do, well, let's get it wet again. Okay, now I'm unstuck. Okay, so what it's doing is that moisture that was on my finger started instantly freezing to the ice cube. So it became one. It wanted to make my finger part of it, okay? That can happen. So think about that whenever you're drinking something, or if you're just deciding, I'm just gonna go lick an ice cube for some crazy reason. It might get stuck, so be prepared to have some warm water or something to pour on your tongue if you're crazy enough to do that. Here's the deal. When you do that, if your tongue is stuck to something and you rip it off, if you rip that ice cube off of your tongue, if you're crazy enough to lick that frozen pole, and then you yank back and you rip your tongue off, there's this thing called taste buds on your tongue, and you're gonna rip them off. Now, how silly is that? Do you really want to do that? So if somebody says, hey, come here, go lick that pole, or anything, when it's frozen, say, I don't think so. You first. I'm kind of busy. What are you doing? Well, I don't know. Anything other than licking the pole. Maybe playing with some flow rings, because those are cool, right? Woo! All day long with my flow rings. Not having my tongue stuck to a pole. So this is Mama P, the science tea, telling you to get out there and go have some frozen fun.